I feel the need for speed. Well, hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Hate It or Love It. I am your host for today, Jeremiah the Revelist. So today I'm going to be reviewing Top Gun Maverick. So Top Gun Maverick is a sequel to the original Top Gun movie that came out in 1986. It stars Tom Cruise. He comes back to play the role as Maverick once again. So how do we start off? We start off as Maverick. He's still flying planes. He still wants, trying to be the fighter pilot that he always been. He never wanted to be a he never wanted to be an admiral or like some higher position ranking, because that's what he loves to do. He loves to fly planes. He loves to be in the combat, the airfield, and he still wants to relive those glory days. So now he has to come back to Top Gun to teach these new recruits on this very crazy, difficult mission, because only Maverick, he is the legend, he's the myth. He's the only person that actually could teach these kids how to successfully win this mission. So what I thought about this film, I thought this movie was so good. Like, I gotta give it credit. Like, I heard that they filmed a lot of this stuff all in real jets. So they were in the cockpit, they were flying all these jets, and I heard that like Tom Cruise and everybody actually learned how to fly jet planes. Like, they literally learned how to do dogfighting, flying jet planes. And you can tell that in this movie. You could tell the realness in this film. It felt so real. It felt like you were in the cockpit with Tom Cruise and all the other guys, and you were like flying through like all these crazy like landscapes and trying to like help them out in the mission. You felt that presence. You felt it. The action sequences in this was really good. There was a lot of tension in this film. Like, even the chemistry between Maverick and his late partner's son, Rooster, you felt that tension because, Rooster's father, he used to work with Maverick, and in the original Top Gun movie he dies. Now his son wants to be a pilot, and him and Maverick doesn't really coexist and get along too well because of that incident that happened in the original Top Gun. So you get that tension, and I love the fact that they go into detail on how like fighter jets, what they can do or what they cannot do. They really go into details on these missions that they go on. And the mission that like they go on is like almost a freaking suicide mission. It was like almost an impossible mission. And the training that they had to do was very intense. I mean, all the characters, it felt like the original film, but with a new generation. And it felt like that passing of the torch, because you have your cast. Like, you have the one guy that his name is Hangman, and he feels like the character Iceman from the original, and you have like the character, some of the characters that felt like Goose and all the other characters you saw in the original Top Gun movie. So you had that same feeling from the original Top Gun movie, and it has certain like aspects of the original Top Gun movie in here as like a nod to the original Top Gun movie, which I thought that played out really well. The original girl from the Top Gun movie is not in this film, so is another different love interest, which I thought it was cool. I wish they had more of a background story between them two, because it didn't have that background story between them two too much. But it looks like they knew each other for years, but they never really did that in a flashback. But that was fine. That didn't really bother me that much. But I was just, and I saw this on like Regal's RPX screen, And let me tell you something. Every time those engines would go off on the jet plane, I would like freak out because I felt it like I felt it. Like I felt the engines. I felt the whole when like I felt very like I felt like I was flying with the characters. You know, I'm like this movie was so good. I think it was like to me it was almost slightly better than the original, and I love the original film. I grew up on the original film, but I feel like it was slightly better because the development, first Top Gun film, really woves with the sequel really good. So it's almost like a connective tissue this movie has with the original, which I find it that the way they filmed it was great. You know, I love Tom Cruise in it. Maverick, Tom Cruise is probably one of my favorite actors. This dude can do it all. My man is 59 years old and he's flying jets, doing these crazy action movies. Shoot, I can't wait for the new Mission Impossible film because he just is one of the greatest action stars, you know? And he did a wonderful job in this movie. And I really believe that everybody should go out and check this film out. If you're a fan of the original Top Gun movie, check this one out. It's phenomenal. Or you haven't seen the original Top Gun movie, I advise you to watch the original Top Gun movie. It's a classic. It's one of those 80 classics. But also come in and then go and watch this because this movie is another one of those like sequels that I gotta say is about time we got a proper sequel that is not just member berries, it's not just fan service. It brings out the new generation and the old. You know, and the ending concluded the franchise. You don't need a third Top Gun movie after this. This has to include everything in all-in-one movie. I advise us to check this out. The rating I'm going to give this, is it a love, is it a hate, or is it something in between? I got to give it a love. I think it was a great film. I gave it a standing ovation. I heard they did 200 hours of footage to do this film. That's a lot of hours. And it proves that like doing a lot of practical effects and everything really work out because this movie, I felt like they had no CGI. Like, I felt like this whole movie was just practical. I know they have CGI somewhere in this film, but I couldn't tell. That's how good this film is. I couldn't tell where they put the CGI at because I didn't feel like there was no CGI. I felt like everything in this movie was practical. So, like, subscribe, comment, share. Let me know what you thought about Top Gun Maverick. Did you love it? Did you hate it? Or is something in between? And if you want to know my rating system, just click on the link below and it tells you in detail what my rating systems and how I rate my movies. So, I'll see you when I see you. Peace.